Well, they can see. The fans at home can see everything. So.
Okay. Well, they might hear us through the talkback for all.
No, Steve said he wasn't getting anything on the broadcast. Yeah, because the talkback only allows him to hear.
A couple of the broadcasts that they've done, the talkback has been going out
Has
over.
it really?
I don't know. I mean, I was surfing around.
Oh, wow.
So the announcer is talking, and then the talkback is out over. That happened a couple times.
Oh no. And I'm not hitting talkback.
And it might have been for a couple minutes. Well, I don't know if it was.
Well, given that you're from Cincinnati, I'm not using talkback at all. I can't believe that happened.
Well, glitches happen.
Yeah.
They could, sometimes it could pick us up. It could be picking us up right now for all we know on the.
Count. Fastballs only. 2-2. One.
Third baseman called him Justice, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So that,
Yeah, unless that's a nickname, then that's good.
So your mics are broadcasting.
they are.
We just can't hear it. Okay.
All right, is that all right?
Yeah, well,
I'll figure it out next time.
Yeah, no sweat. Okay, we are on. So we think, hi everyone, our microphones are having some issues, so that's why you heard us for a couple moments there. Pleasant good morning to you, welcome. Shout Stadium in Dunmore, Pennsylvania, here in the Poconos, and a beautiful and chilly morning for baseball on this Scranton Showcase. My name is Bob Rotruck, along with Chris Markowitz. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We are on, we have been told and informed, and it's the Baseball U Scranton team, led by Mike Guy, and they are playing today the Baseball U Philly team led by Coach Lindsay. And we're already underway, and we're a couple outs in and a foul off. This is Jake Milan, and they fouled out of the bleachers, and I hope everyone's okay there.
Yeah, that nice little crowd here down the third base side as that ball trickles down, and some fans duck it at the tail end there. Got to be active here.
Justice Augusto is the name of this pitcher for Philly, Lindsay. He had some pretty good fastball. We don't have the radar up yet, but I've noticed a little bit of giddy up. We have 5 games today, and we have 6 innings for each game, or 2 hours. And so we're going to be here for a while. And as you join us today, kick back and enjoy. This is a 1-2 pitch that's flipped into right field, and a diving attempt by the outfielder. He misses that, and good play on the backup, though. It falls as a single for Jake Milan, looped into right center field.
And that's a great piece of two-strike hitting by Milan. He fouled off a couple fastballs, making Augusto a little leery about throwing him that fastball in the 1-2 count. Got an off-speed pitch, looked like a slider, kept his hands inside it to keep it fair, pull it into right center field. That's a great two-out knock right there.
Milan, a switch hitter out of North Pocono. And this is Zach Lexick, who steps in now, a right-handed batter. And a fastball is on the outside corner for a strike. You know, we're right here behind the plate, so I know it can be a little deceiving for somebody who's used to being up in the press box, but the velocity here for Augusto looks pretty good.
It's the velocity, it's that late run he has on the pitch as well.
Runner going, and then we had a little slip and fall here, maybe some dew on the turf for catcher Evan Hallahan. That'll happen too. It's an artificial turf field, of course, here at Schott Stadium. Dallas Area High School for Zach Lexick, and it's a ball and a strike, and it's a stolen base for Jake Milan with 2 outs and a runner at second base for the Baseball U Scranton team, led by Coach Guy. 1-1. And a check swing. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Yeah, that is a good slider.
Yeah, it's a great job of varying his looks, but also checking on the runner at second, making sure he holds him on, mixing up the way he holds him there.
1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off on a fastball there. We have no walks today, which is typical for these showcase events. So if we get to ball 4, then we reset the count to 2-2, and we go from there. And we've already had that happen here today. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zach Lexick in the top of the first inning, bright and early with an 8 a.m. start. 5 games today and 5 more games tomorrow. And now timeout with the runner there, Milan, dancing around at second base and providing a bit of a distraction. That's the shortstop, Jake Whitlinger, who was kind of sneaking in from behind to guard him there. 1-2. And that just missed a little away, and Lexick, I think, tempted a little bit, lays off.
That's a beautiful location, though, by Augusto. The slider just on the outside corner. If you don't get the swing, fine. You got 2 more pitches to play with.
2-2 pitch, and that's a little further away. Ball 3. Batter's jumpy with 2 strikes, and you don't want to go down looking, and anything that's close but is unreachable, that's going to be a possible trigger. That's a good eye by Lexick there both times to lay off. Full count pitch, swing and a miss on the slider, and down he goes, and that's good work for Augusto with a pair of strikeouts at the top of the first. Scranton no score. Philly Lindsay Baseball U squad is coming to bat on BFA.
So first count if it's 2-2. No, so I was going to say, once you get to the 2 count, you got to throw this back. That's a painful.
So essentially what you're saying is
pretty much. It's basically like, if you don't have your driver's license, use this thing. It's pretty much one of those. Get in there and just do the kind of life, in a way. I think that makes it
Bottom of the first, 4th coming. Philly Lindsay batting here. Bob Rotrug along with Chris Markowitz. Welcome to Dunmore, PA. This is Scott Gilbert, who is a 6'1" tall left-hander out of Abington Heights, Pennsylvania, who is pitching for the Mike Guy-led squad, the Philly Lindsay team. Matt Benner is an outfielder who steps in wearing number 13. And a big cut and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Benner aggressive in the count, going after that first pitch fastball, but it's just blown right by him. Some late tail on the 2-seamer.
Satterton High School product. There's a little breaking ball. It just misses, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Eric Chandler and Jake Whitlinger and Evan Hallahan are due up this inning for the Philly Lindsay Baseball U team. Bottom of the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Gilbert's pitch is a good fastball at the knees, good location, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's what you call cheese at the knees, a perfect location. If the batter swings at it, it's most likely getting pounded to second base. Great location to set up the 2-strike count.
1-2 to Benner is high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So he mixes in a fastball high there, trying to switch up locations after going low in the zone.
A lot of colleges here this weekend checking out these players. Benner is already a college commit, and he takes ball 3, and it's a full count now. And again, no walks. You don't want to see guys walking. You want to see what they can do with the bat in these showcase events. So once they get to ball 4, then you reset the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, which is common. And that is in the dirt, and it is ball 4. And so we go to a 2-2 count.
That's a great at-bat by Benner there. Got down 1-2, but laid off a couple pitches out of the zone. Back-to-back breaking balls that missed low. Great patience not to reach for those.
9 teams here this weekend and a total of 10 games, so a lot of teams are playing 2 or 3 games. And this is the first 10 hours today and 10 hours tomorrow is a lot of baseball. Benner fouls it back, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. I've never done 10 games in a single weekend before, so I just sort of chuckle at the idea. That is high. These showcase events are so huge for these kids that didn't get the high school season and to get looked at by the various colleges. It's important.
Yes. Not just not getting the looks, but also the rhythm. I mean, going so long without playing the game of baseball, it is a game of failure, and you need that experience, especially in the high school level, over and over again, the grind to reach that next level of your skills and talent.
And they do give Benner the walk here after we had the reset. You can actually end up getting to that point. These teams, a lot of them have faced each other before. They see each other at the same showcase events. And you want to talk about the repetition, you need multiple showcase events. So now by the time you get to mid-late September and they have played a few of these, now you have kind of the jitters out. It's not a first game of the season, it's a little bit more, and now you can kind of gauge what their true talents are. Here's a fly ball into right field. That's Mike Shaw who's over there and catching, and Benner played that partway up and almost 2/3 up to second base and has to scramble back to first. I mean, he's a leadoff batter, so I assume he had pretty good speed. He looks like he had a pretty good lead over there. And Chandler flies out to right field, first out in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Benner showing some aggressiveness on the base pass. He was about 2/3 of the way towards second base, but made the read in time to get back.
Jake Whitlinger. And he's out of LaSalle College High School and is already a commit for the Lehigh University Mountain Hawks down in Bethlehem, PA. So midway between Philly and where we are now in Scranton. And Whitlinger is taking ball 1. And he's already been listed as 3 different positions for today. So he's going to rotate around from shortstop to second base to catcher, which is certainly a good utility ability to have. 1-0 pitch is outside and ball 2. 1 out runner at first is Matt Benner. We are in the bottom of the first. No score. Philly Lindsay batting against Scranton's Mike Guy coach squad. Throw to first. The runner going for second. They're going to have to hurry to get it down there. Very close. He is out. So Benner leaning, and he still had enough of a good jump and enough of a lean that he had a chance, but he's caught stealing 1 to 3 to 6.
Yeah, that shows you the speed of Benner, but a great pickoff move there by Gilbert. Set him up with a couple moves before that, showing first, second, then his best there to nab the runner.
These guys aren't afraid to lead or run on the left-handers. I mean, it's a showcase event, so why not? And there's ball 3 to Whitlinger, 3 balls and no strikes.
Especially with a 6-batter limit, the ability to have a big inning really depends on getting runners in scoring position early on. Because normally in baseball, obviously, you got to get 3 outs to end a rally, but with the 6-batter limit, you got to get runs on the board while you can.
So a 2-2 count. I think I might have had one of the pitches incorrect here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Whitlinger. And here's a little tapper. This is going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Kolbicka comes up with it and throws and safe. It's still a nice play by Kolbicka, but Whitlinger is speedy down the line and beats it out for an infield single.
And that's always frustrating for a pitcher because that was a hammer of a curveball and a 2-strike count. Got it over the zone. Whitlinger, though, just a good enough job to make contact, put it in play, put pressure on the defense, and then hustle down the line for the 2-out base knock.
Evan Hollahan is a 5'11" tall catcher out of Central High School, and he takes ball one from Scott Gilbert. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed batting Hollahan.
Hollahan a little bit out on his front foot there and tracking that first pitch.
Fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hollahan. I'm just looking at Whitlinger, and he's got a little bit of a lead there himself over at first.
Now, if you look, the outfield has completely shifted. Right fielder playing in right center, center fielder playing in the left center field gap. So, coaching staff has picked up on Hollahan, that tendency to pull.
Yeah, Collins is way over towards the line in left field. Swing and a miss, runner goes. The ball was out of the glove of Lexick. He saw the runner going and lost it in what he was hoping would be a good transfer. And so, on the hit and run, it turns into a stolen base. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to Evan Hollahan. This refurbished facility that they put a couple $1 million into just last year when it reopened. Swing and a miss, and Gilbert got him. And his first strikeout of the game. And down goes the Philly Lindsay squad with no runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. We're at the end of 1. Scranton nothing, Philly nothing. Both Baseball U teams here on our baseball showcase in Scranton.
Hey, how you doing? Al Fisher with BFA. How you doing?
How are you?
You are?
Connor.
Connor?
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Connor.
Good to meet you.
So you got good power there, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying to figure out why our guys down here don't have power on their monitors. All right, cool.
Try to get out of your way.
No worries.
Second inning here, back from Dunmore, Pennsylvania. Justice Augusto, the name of this pitcher from Langhorne, Pennsylvania. And Zach Kovalchuk will step in for the Scranton team. No score from Schott Stadium. I'm just looking on what Baseball Factory website. All of these kids who have college promise have scouting reports on them, or at least a lot of them do, and gives you kind of a fair idea of what the scouts have been seeing out of them as Augusto delivers ball 1 to Kovalchuk. 1 ball and no strikes. Kovalchuk out of Valley View High School. Plays a little outfield, a little pitcher, and 6'2", and taking ball 2.
Always fun seeing a fastball right up near the eyes as Kovalchuk danced out of the way of that one. Got to be zeroing in on a pitch in his zone here.
2-0 pitch. And that's on the outside corner, a strike. That was hittable.
I was going to say that's a good one to swing at.
That's kind of, you got to pull the trigger. You got,
Well,
fraction of a second, right, to decide and to recognize. 2-1 pitch is in for a strike, and it's 2-2. This kid Augusto, is throwing around 85 and up there, and that's pretty good for this age. There's a lot of promise here. And he misses inside a little bit, maybe aimed a little bit, and a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now we go back to 2-2, right? No, we do that at 4 balls. Okay. And there's a swing and a miss, and got him chasing a little bit there. So Kovalchuk goes down, and that's 3 strikeouts for Justice Augusto.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts, and this is a game or style of play that really works to his strengths, because even with the resets going to 2-2, if he gets behind in the count, if he walks a guy and it's all fastballs with a 2-2 count, he's got so much power behind that four-seamer.
This is Scott Gilbert, I believe, who was the pitcher, and it is. And he lifts this one foul over the first base side. So it is no balls and 1 strike to the lefty out of Abington Heights. Lefty pitcher and a lefty batter as well, Scott Gilbert. No score in the second, and the 0-1. It's a swing and a foul back. No balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, Gilbert all over those 2 fastballs. So now it's time for Augusto either to bear down, trust his best pitch, or I think he's got to mix it up here, way ahead in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, he put that one on the outside corner, a little tapper to second. Kyle Krupa charging in. Nice play by the second baseman. Krupa got him. Gilbert gone. 2 outs in the second inning. That's a good-looking play for the second baseman, Kyle Krupa, on that little slow tapper.
Yeah, that's
Smooth.
a more difficult play than a second baseman is given credit for on a slow roller. To go up to it, make the play, charging the ball in, and then flip it to first for the easy out.
Ryan Collins, and a check swing on a fastball is fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. To Ryan Collins out of Dallas Area High School. He's a 5'11" tall right-handed batter, and he plays a little bit everywhere, middle infield and outfield, and today starting the game in left field. 0-1 pitch is a little low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I like that slider by Augusto, recognizing that the last couple batters have fouled off his fastball, throws a bender.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. 2 outs and nobody on, and no score in the top of the second. 11 different colleges in attendance, and these kids with an opportunity to get recognized and to land a gig on a college team. Here's a high fly ball that's hit pretty well to center field, and J.J. O'Neill is out there. Oh, he misjudged it, and it bounces to the side of him, and that's going to be Collins rounding second and easily into third, standing up. J.J. O'Neill just lost that. And, we got sun. I don't know if the sun is a problem here at this early in the morning, but it was hard for him to judge out there.
Well, it looks like the sun's coming up right behind our booth.
I mean, it's shining out at him, so maybe, that was part of it.
Well, scored it as a triple.
Sure.
It was a 1-2 fastball. I was surprised that Augusto didn't go with the slider there.
This is Rocco Valvano, who swings and misses. That was a slider, right? And it's 0-1.
Yeah, that one had some tail to it at the back end.
And that one backs him off a little bit. 1 ball and 1 strike to one of the extra hitters in the lineup. They've got 11 batters in the lineup, which again is typical for these showcase events if you have extra guys on your roster. Pop up on the first base side. Tony Rossi, the first baseman, is there. That's an easy play for him, and retires the side. So Scranton gets 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. Philly Lindsay nothing, Scranton Guy nothing, middle of the second inning on BFA.
Yes.
What?
Love how you just responded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was Alvarez over here?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
I don't know where he went.
I feel bad for him. I was coming over. I got sweatpants.
He could probably come off and game and then back on for the night pass.
It's also over here. It's cold over there.
Bottom of the second inning, Bob Rotruk here with Chris Markowitz from Dunmore, Pennsylvania, in our Scranton Baseball Showcase event with the various Baseball U teams and some other teams too. Tony Rossi is batting against Scott Gilbert, who fires outside for ball one. No score. And a high pop-up on the right side. That's tricky in foul territory, and everybody converging, and nobody has a play. First baseman Jake Milan, second baseman Luke Myers, and neither one could get there, so it's 1-1.
Yeah, Rossi got a fastball on the inner half of the plate, right in on the hands, popped it up down the first baseline, but he kept the barrel inside that ball. Be interesting to see if he's able to square one up properly, because that's a good approach to go to right center field.
1-1 to Tony Rossi, and that is high on a fastball for ball two. Now, I'm looking at his perfect game showcase report from 2019, and Scott Gilbert topped out at 83. That's a year ago, so let's assume he has maybe a couple more miles an hour this year. Ground ball to shortstop, and it's out to Matt Pfeiffer, who fields it moving to his left and throws out Tony Rossi one away in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, showing off the arm strength on the 6'3" as the shortstop. But to that point about Gilbert hitting 83 about a year ago, not only is he probably at mid-80s with that fastball, he can mix in some good off-speed pitches, and we've already seen in this showcase has a deceptive pickoff move as a left-hander. So there's a value to a left-handed arm who has 2 or 3 solid pitches and does a good job in the running game.
R.J. Agris, a swing and a miss. He's playing at third base today, and that is strike one. This Perfect Game website and all these scouting sites are so interesting, and it says that he gained 3 miles an hour on his fastball from 2018 to 2019. Here's a fly ball to right field. He goes the other way. Show can't get there. Agris is going to try for 2, and he will make it in, sliding in ahead of the throw. They played him to pull, and he flipped it the other way and turned that into extra bases.
Yeah, that's a great approach by Agris. Being aggressive, getting the fastball, first pitch of the at-bat, going the other way. And to your point, a lot of room, a lot of turf out in right center field. It's a short porch down the right field line. So even for a right-hand batter, shooting the ball off that fence is a solid option here today.
Here's J.J. O'Neill, the right-handed batter, against the lefty-throwing Scott Gilbert. And the first pitch to O'Neill is a fastball low and in, ball one, and we're, no experts here without a radar gun yet, but it looks more than 83 on a couple of those pitches to me, at least to start. J.J. O'Neill out of Downingtown East High School, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Now a long pickoff throw to second. Not quite in time to get the runner over there, R.J. Agris, who was wise to it. That's a good arm there for Zach Luksick, trying to nab him down there. Bottom of the second inning and no score. One out runner at first is Agris, and the batter is J.J. O'Neill. And here's the pitch from Scott Gilbert, and he missed it just a little high, and it's ball 2.
Yeah, didn't get on top of that breaking ball, hung it a little bit, and it stayed out of the zone. And in those situations, often the pitcher is actually fortunate the ball stays out of the strike zone. You don't want a hanger to be swung at.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. And they have him played around to pull as well, it seems, for a lot of the right-handed batters against the lefty-throwing Gilbert. 2-2 pitch, and here's a liner, and the shortstop, kind of a snow cone grab. He caught that, I think, in the air, barely. Nice play by Matt Pfeiffer at shortstop. And he steps on second and turns that into an unassisted double play as well. So an unassisted double play for Matt Pfeiffer. And the Philly Lindsay team down in the second inning. No runs and 1 hit and nobody left on base. We are at the end of 2 in Game 1 of our Scranton Showcase Baseball U event. And no score for Philly Lindsay and Scranton Guy. On to the third we go on BFA.
Good spot though. Go inside. Hey, that's all I need.
I can find a catcher though. I'll go.
Don't should have another central back. Check the central back.
Right over the shoulder.
When they get times, that's why I got my knee wall up in my patio.
Okay, third inning now. And Justice Augusto, and it might be his last inning of work, they have another pitcher who's lined up to throw in the fourth. And let me see here. Is this Shao? Yes, it is. Oh, right. Okay, I got it. And so he fouls it off, or Mike Shaw, I guess. And so no balls and one strike to the Abington Heights product. Mike Shaw, who is a 6'3" right-handed batter. I got a little turned around with the extra hitters on the lineup card, which happens. No score in the third. And here comes the 0-1, and that's a good pitch.
Ooh.
Tailing away, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, filthy breaking ball there, but to your point, always fun coming to these showcases. One team could be batting 9, one team could be batting 15. You never know. Got to come prepared.
Ooh. That's just nibbling at the corner, barely missing a little outside. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Shaw. Sometimes you have sometimes you have the under 17s or the under 16s for this showcase event. A lot of the teams are mixing them up. Here's a fly ball that's hit well to left field, and that's going to turn around the outfielder, Matt Bender. He comes back and recovers and makes a catch off the side of his left hip there. Wow.
That is ridiculous. You talk about shades of Willie Mays turning completely around, doing a 360 and almost a basket catch, falling backwards. What a play out in left field.
A couple different times we've seen outfielders have a little tricky time trying to judge it. That's what this is about, too. Here's Todd Kolbicka. And there's a little tapper off the plate. And the pitcher, Augusto, is going to have to hurry up and throw to get him. And, yeah, he did. And so Todd Kolbicka is gone for the second out here in the top of the third.
Now, I'm confused because I thought that hit Kolbicka on the foot before he left the box.
Well, the umpires are going to talk about it here. I think he ran,
I was going to say,
not knowing if he was going to get the call or not.
Now, that's fair, but normally you'll hear the batter say, hey, I got hit, hey, I got hit. No communication there.
They're going to call it foul. Yeah. Okay, so you were right.
Hey, man, I was playing in a Sunday baseball league, amateur, of course, and obviously much love to all umpires out there, but not the best of the best. One of my friends, it was his first at-bat back, and he fouled it right off his foot, fell down in pain. Umpire said it hit home plate, and he was thrown out. So credit to Kolbicka there for running him out, because you never know.
And that pitch is high, ball 1. I don't know how I thought of this in Little League, but I fouled one off the heel of my foot. It didn't hurt me. And so I took a couple quick steps, and I realized if I don't start jumping, then I'm not going to get this call. So I acted like it hurt me. I was 12. Here's a fly ball. It's hit well to right field. That's going to be off the wall over the head of Zach Zielinski. And Kolbicka will pull in at second with a well-struck double blasted out to right field.
Tell you what, gets that second opportunity.
Right, exactly.
And shoots one out to right. I mean, again, I mentioned it in the bottom half of the second. That's a short porch in right field. So as a right-hand batter, if you could put a charge into one going the opposite way, that's an easy double if you have right center field in your arsenal.
One out runner at second, and a fastball is inside to Luke Myers, the second baseman. So 1 ball and no strikes to Luke Myers. Myers out of Greater Nanticoke Area High School.
It's funny, on the topic of going to the opposite field, I grew up a huge fan of Derek Jeter, and when he was inducted in the Hall of Fame, I was actually watching him talk about his approach with Jim Tomei at MLB Network, how he would go to right center field and why he would do that. He said as a kid he learned to inside out a fastball on the inner half, because if it's a fastball and he could shoot it to right center, that means any off-speed pitch he could pull but keep it fair down the left field line. So it gave him the entire range of the field on fastball off-speed.
3-0 Augusto. He got it in there for a strike to Luke Myers. 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's one of those things in the age of the shift. We talk so much about encouraging guys to pull, and I get it. I get that you want the home runs, the true outcomes, but the true art of hitting is being able to use all sides of the field.
Well, a lot of these guys aren't going to be blasting 30 home runs a year.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, you got to make it work with the tools that you have. 1 out runner at second is Kolbicka. We are in the third. And that pitch is low and in for a ball. So I think we're at 2-2 and now to 3-2, something like that. Yes.
And this is a good test for Augusto here. He was smooth through the first 2 innings, running into a little bit of trouble here with a runner in scoring position. Now challenged in a 3-2 count. So this is a great way to simulate a pressure situation as a pitcher. You want these challenges. You want these opportunities to prove that even when you get behind, when you have runners on, you can stay calm and relaxed.
I think we have a 3-2 count here, and it's a grounder slap the opposite way. It's a base hit for Myers. Kolbicka around third, but he'll hold up where he is. He actually might have had a chance to score there. The throw coming in from Zielinski is cut off, and a single to right for Luke Myers puts him on the corners with 1 out.
Now that's what you call situational hitting. Luke Myers finds a pitch to go the opposite side of the field with, hits it on the ground.
With 2 strikes.
With 2 strikes. If it's an out, fine. It moves the runner 90 feet closer to scoring. It happens to find a hole. Unfortunately, doesn't score the run because the fast turf, but great job there.
Matt Pfeiffer swinging a miss on a hit and run throw down to second. Myers is in safely. The runner at third, Kolbicka, will stay. And so the second stolen base of the game for the Scranton Mike Guy team. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Matt Pfeiffer, who struck out looking to begin our ball game, actually. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Oh, that's inside. It hit him. Ouch. I think he's okay. He even goes and gets the ball after it hit him, I think, somewhere around the shoulder, and he's not taking his base, and similar to the whole walk situation, he'll
There's nothing like
stay in there and get his bat.
I was going to say, though, there's nothing like taking one off the body to then have a 2-strike count on you. So it's all about the mindset, though, as a hitter now, preparing yourself for this 2-strike approach.
And now a 1-hopper right back to the pitcher, Augusto, and he's going to come home with it. That was with 2 outs. They've got the runner caught in a rundown. They will tag out the runner, Kolbicka. And that was with 1 out. I beg your pardon. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking 2 outs because we had that whole reset after the ground ball that turned into a foul. So, yeah, that's good play on his part and a little brain freeze on my part. So they get the rundown on Kolbicka.
It's all right. It's cold here this morning. We're getting loose as
Fielder's
well.
choice for Pfeiffer, and Myers goes up to third on that play, and that's where Kolbicka turned around and realized he had nowhere to go. He came in on contact after Augusto had fielded the 1-hopper right back to him. J.D. Greeley swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike to Greeley, who is one of the extra hitters, and he popped out of the second baseman his first time up, so he's 0 for 1, and he takes outside ball 1 to Greeley.
Now, just to be sure I scored that correctly, that was a 1-2-5,
yes.
I believe,
there
on
you go.
the fielder's choice.
Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. And it's 1-2.
Now, see, this is that challenge I was talking about. Augusto had 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position, was able to use his cat-like reflexes to make a play, help his own cause. Now he's a pitch away of getting out of a jam.
Pitch to Greenlee out of Pocono Mountain West. There's strike 3, so Augusto works out of it with his 4th strikeout of the game. No runs on 2 hits, and he gets out of it in the middle of the 3rd. We have no score on BFA. Hey.
He's terrible coach. He's calling his head. He's crazy.
Okay, a new pitcher for the for the Scranton team is Duke Stefersky, who comes on and facing Zach Zielinski in the bottom of the 3rd. Stefersky throws outside for a ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Valley View High School product and a 6' 1 inch tall right-hander. Throws low and away, ball 2.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Stefersky hairdo. That nice flow coming down from the hat.
If I had hair like that, I would wear it like that myself. Zielinski takes outside, ball 3.
Comes in handy on a cold September day like this, keeping you warm out there.
Archbald, PA native, and he plays a little middle infield as well. And there's a strike into Zielinski, and it's 3-1. And on the Perfect Game website, it has his fastball topping out at about 86, so he can bring it pretty good as well. No score, bottom of the 3rd, and a foul away for Zach Zielinski. It is 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Basketball fans know the reference Hoodie Mello, referring to Carmelo Anthony wearing a hoodie in warm-ups. We got Hoodie Zielinski wearing it under his jersey here today, that classic fall ball
Oh, he
look.
does have that, yes. I like it. Here's a high pop down the left field line towards the corner, and no play for Ryan Collins as Zielinski flips it out of here.
Yeah,
I think we have a full count still. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it reminds me of playing fall ball games in Little League, wearing a hoodie and a jacket underneath your jersey, just, looking like a linebacker out there with all your layers on. So,
for sure. And that is outside for a ball, and I think we reset to 2-2 here, yeah. So, Zach Zielinski out of Great Valley High School, and a 6 foot tall lefty batting outfielder, and he'll pitch a little bit as well. Stefersky, ground ball up the middle. This is a tough play. Second baseman Myers scrambles and tried to backhand it on a little slide there at his knee. He's had a piece of it, but it gets through for a base hit single. Didn't hit that the hardest, but he hit it to the right spot, so Zielinski is aboard. No score, bottom of the 3rd. That's the 3rd hit of the game for the Philly Lindsay team after Scott Gilbert worked 2. Now Duke Stefersky is on for the 3rd.
yeah, you mentioned didn't hit it that hard, but it's well placed. Anytime you could go directly back up the middle, every now and then the pitcher's going to make a play on that, or you'll have a shortstop making a spectacular effort, but usually that ends up as a hit.
Kyle Krupa, grounder to second, could be 2. Myers, Pfeiffer, Milan, it reads. Nicely done 4-6-3.
That is textbook twin killing right there. A perfect pitch down and away from the batter sets up an easy effort for the middle infield. A pitcher's dream right there. Nice job by Stefersky to get it to bounce, to get Kruppa to bounce into, excuse me.
Matt Benner out of Sounderton High School with 2 outs and nobody on. And a liner to second right under the glove of Luke Myers. That's dipping and falling to his left. That's actually a pretty tough play. At first he thinks he's got it, and then it's kind of fallen off very quickly. So a single to right for Matt Benner is the 4th hit of the game for Philly Lindsay.
Yeah, a lot of hooking action on that line drive. Anytime you hit it really hard, going to the opposite field, there's going to be that tailing action away from the second baseman. So a tough play. I'd score that a single. So Benner having himself a good morning. Walked in his first at bat. Now has a single. Just has to, recover from that caught stealing against the lefty back in the first inning. We'll see if he goes here though to set up Chandler with a 2-out RBI chance.
Well, he went against the lefty before. So against the righty, I think he wants to. And there's a ball to Chandler. 1 ball and no strikes. Eric Chandler is a right-handed batting middle infielder out of LaSalle College High School. So much talent on these teams and all the teams that we're going to see all weekend long. Low and away to Chandler from Stefersky, and that is ball 2. No score, bottom of the 3rd. We're at Schatz Stadium in scenic Dunmore, Pennsylvania, up here in the Poconos. And that's up and in and hit him. Where did it get him? It got him on the helmet, didn't it? Yeah. It wasn't a fastball. We are thankful to report, and he seems perfectly fine.
Appreciate you helping us out this weekend.
Shakes it right off. Those are never fun, but to your point, happy it was an off-speed pitch.
So the hit batsman turns it into a 2-2 count. We reset to a 2-2. And a fly ball in the right field corner, and Mike Shaw is running out of room and looking over his head. It's off the fence. Matt Benner was leaving on contact with 2 outs, and he gets up to third on a high arcing double to the right field fence for Eric Chandler.
And we've mentioned it a couple times, that short porch out in right center field. Chandler with a good job just to make contact, send it that way, use the fence. It actually works to the detriment, in a sense, of Benner, though, because even though he's off with motion with 2 outs, it's so close of a throw from there, it's tough to score.
Jake Whitlinger, who is 1 for 1 at an infield single and a stolen base, and he looks at a strike, 0-1, with runners at second and third in the bottom of the 3rd, and no score, and another threat, and we've had a lot of them for both teams. Tapper between third and short. Nice play, Pfeiffer, and he got him. Third baseman Kolbicka couldn't get it, but Pfeiffer does. And another threat that doesn't produce any runs with the pitcher working out of it. Really good play on that little tapper for the shortstop Pfeiffer. Down goes the Philly Lindsay team here in Game 1 of our Scranton Showcase event. No score after 3.
We're to the point now, it's just like, we gotta have
what he's looking for. So I just came here to just make sure you understood what he was saying. Sometimes the guy talks and you're like, huh?
Stand there like this, right?
Fourth inning, no score. Threats for
Yeah,
both
I gotta
sides, and
drop
neither
it off.
team can produce a run. Pitcher's working out of it, and a new pitcher here for Philly Lindsay is Gavin
We
Mikulski.
tried.
And Mikulski comes in as a left-hander out of North Penn High School, and will face the heart of the lineup for the Scranton Guy team, led by Jake Milan starting it off. He singled in the first and is 1 for 1. And the pitch from Mikulski is missing for a ball, 1-0.
That's a good spot to miss. Fastball down and away from the right-hander. Doesn't get the call, but you want to stay in that area.
6'1" left-hander Mikulski. And a swing and a foul back. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. You know what's amazing about these high school players? You can look online and you get all these details and these scouting reports from PBR, Prep Baseball Report, or Perfect Game, etc. And you get all the inside scoop on these guys very quickly. Jake Milan, 1-1. The pitch is a high pop-up, right field corner. Let's see, do they have a play over there? Zielinski is chasing and does not have a play. I didn't think so, but you never know. You got a shot. And it's 1-2. So, Mikulski with good control on his fastball, according to whoever from PBR was scouting him, and up to the high 70s on his fastball, which he's going to want to bring up a little bit higher, of course. And there's a breaking ball in the dirt ball, too.
Yeah, a lot of movement on it. Just left it a couple feet short of the plate. But that's the payoff. When you're throwing high 70s, you need to mix in that off-speed with good location, good rhythm throughout the zone.
2-2 pitch. That's high. That's 74 miles an hour there. So good example of what we're talking about. Well, he's getting there, and it's a full count to Jake Milan out of North Pocono. No score on the fourth, and a ground ball to shortstop. Whitlinger scrambles over, juggles it, recovers, and got him. So it kind of came up on him and off the heel of his glove, but he's there to stay with it and make a nice play for the first out in the fourth inning. Jake Whitlinger there at shortstop.
Yeah, that's patience and persistence. He bobbles it, but is calm, cool, and practiced that enough to know, all right, I got plenty of time. I trust in my arm to get it there. Nice play to recover on the bobble.
I mean, if you're playing infield, especially middle infield, you're going to have your fair share of bobbles. They aren't all going to be clean, but how do you recover from them when it happens? Zach Luxick takes a strike on the outside corner, so it's 0-1 to the Dallas area high school product. Luxick, who struck out swinging in the first, and is 0 for 1. 0-1 pitch from Mikulski, and he looped a breaking ball low and in. That's his changeup, I guess, and it's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, trying to get Luxick to bite. Left it alone. The run comes home because of the error on the throw, but I'm going to score that an E6.
Runner at second, 1-0 in the fourth. Gavin Mikulski with 1 out and a swing and a pop-up third base side and a long run in for the left fielder, and there goes the third baseman Agers. It falls over his shoulder. That's a fair ball, I believe, yeah. That falls in just a couple feet fair, so Scott Gilbert safe on a high pop-up single, and Kovalchuk up to third.
Yeah, and this is where frustration can take over for a pitcher because Mikulski getting the ground ball and an at-bat ago to get Kovalchuk, which ends up being an error and a run scored, and now just, nobody's fault on a pop-up like that down the third base line. It's a good pitch. He got the batter to pop it up, but just a tough play. We're in no man's land.
Ryan Collins with that deep drive in the second inning that fell for a triple. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner with Gilbert dancing around down there at first, kind of tempting catcher Evan Hollahan. Kind of did a little pump and then looked at Kovalchuk at third to make sure he was behaving. No balls and 1 strike to Ryan Collins here in the fourth, and 1-0 for Scranton Guy. 0-1, and that is high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Collins. Dallas area high product and a righty batter at 5'11".
Now remember, there is a 6-batter limit, so Collins, the 5th man to hit this inning, Valvano on deck, will end it.
Long look in, and now timeout requested by the batter, Ryan Collins. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and third. A lot of seniors in this event, and here's another one, Ryan Collins, a class of 2021. And he looks at a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Collins, if you remember, back in the 2nd inning, had a triple on a fly ball where it was hit to pretty much straightaway center, but the sun, it looked like it had an impact on it as it fell down. Forgot who, I've drawn a blank on who was out in that position.
I think that was O'Neill. Oh, that was in, and it nicked him, or they call it a foul. Either way, I don't think it matters.
Hit the nub of the bat there. That's funny that is a 2-2 count. So either whether or not it hit him or it hits the bat. How many times are you going to see something like that, even in a showcase like this?
1-2. And Mikulski's next pitch. Fastball is a little low. Nice little pick there for the catcher, Evan Holohan, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, you've got the catcher who already looked at first at Scott Gilbert. You got runners on the corners, so a 2-strike count. You've got all sorts of possibilities of trying to make something happen, and I think Mikulski is wise to that as well, and he throws to first to check on the runner, Scott Gilbert.
Yeah, to your point, wouldn't be surprised to see Gilbert off with the pitch here. Obviously don't want to get picked off, but there's a lot of moving pieces in this defensive situation.
2-2, and the pitch is swung on and missed. So that's 2 outs. I might have said there were 2 outs. There was 1 out before. Now there's 2 outs. And we bring up Rocco Valvano.
Easily one of my favorite names of some of these showcases that we've covered.
Out of Scranton Prep, on a 5-foot 10-inch tall right-handed batter. 0 for 2 today, or 0 for 1, I beg your pardon. And a high pop-up foul and out of play. First baseman Tony Rossi does not have a play on that.
Yeah, Valvano popped up to first base in his only other at bat today, and then in this one, fouls one back towards the first base side. So it looks like his bat angle lagging just a bit, dropping the barrel ever so slightly.
Oh, 0-1 to Valvano and a high fly to right field. And Zielinski, I think that is out there, makes the catch. Nicely done. Side retired. Scranton scores our first run of the game. It's 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors and 2 runners left on base. It could have been worse. Mikulski gets out of it minimally damaged. And in the middle of the 4th inning, Scranton guy 1, Philly Lindsay nothing on BFA. Bottom of the fourth inning here, and a 1-0 game now, and Duke Stefersky with his second inning of work, and the 4, 5, and 6 batters for the Philly Lindsay squad, beginning with Evan Hollihan, who struck out swinging in the first. Bob Rotruck along here with Chris Markowitz on a very chilly morning in Dunmore, PA. We're kind of shaking. You came better prepared with the wardrobe.
Wearing, if you could see me here on the right side of the batter's box when you come from center field cam, I'm wearing that Mountaineers jacket.
It looks good, and it's very practical for today, and it feels like fall baseball. That's what it's supposed to feel like, right? So Evan Hollihan, righty batting catcher, and he takes low, and that is a ball, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes to Evan Hollihan, who struck out swinging in the first inning. Hollihan out of central high. And a fly ball, and he towers that to right center field, and a couple of outfielders converging out there, and that, I believe, is Mike Shaw, who's there to handle it in right center for the first out in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're playing 6 innings, or an hour 50. I think I said 2 hours earlier, but it's technically an hour 50, whichever comes first, and at this pace, it looks like we'll get to our 6 innings. And most of these teams will play 2 or 3 games this weekend. Here's a line that bounces in front of the second baseman, Luke Myers, charging in on it and making a nice play to throw out Tony Rossi for the second out very quickly here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Well, you mentioned pace. Stefersky started off the inning with a 3-0 count, and then his 3-0 was swung on by Hollihan and hit hard but to center, so that's an out. And then his 5th pitch of the inning for Stefersky grounded out, so he's really working quickly.
R.J. Agris and a high pop-up, shallow right, and Myers at second is called off by Mike Shaw, who comes in and puts it away, and that's our first 1-2-3 inning of the entire day. And very quick work for Duke Stefersky, I think, probably impressing some of the colleges in attendance. And at the end of 4, our score is the Baseball U Scranton Guy Squad 1, the Baseball U Philly Lindsay team nothing. On to the 5th on BFA. Gavin Mikulski on for his second inning of work. It is a 1-0 lead for the Baseball U Scranton Guy team. And on to the 5th inning we go in a 6-inning game. Mike Shaw is 0 for 1 and fly it out to left field in the 3rd. And now here we are in the 5th. Here's the North Penn product. Shaw, and the pitch is popped up and foul. No balls and 1 strike. 11 colleges in attendance this weekend, checking out all the talent here, and there are some college commits and a lot of players who have not committed yet and are on the open market. No balls and 1 strike to Mike Shaw. Todd Kolbick is on deck, and the 0-1 is swung on and missed off speed offering from Gavin Mikulski, 0-2.
Yeah, Mikulski way ahead in the count now after getting 2 fastballs over the zone for strikes. Let's see if he mixes it up now.
We had a lot of pitchers falling behind the count and having to go to those walks and resets and so forth. And here's a high pop-up on the infield. And the 2 middle infielders, who's going to have it? That's Jake Whitlinger, who's the shortstop, I think. They might have moved around, actually, a little bit. That might be Agris who caught that. And that is the first out in the top of the 5th. So the colleges in attendance include the University of Scranton, Gettysburg College, Keystone College, Bloomsburg University, Goldie Beacom College, Frostburg State comes up here as well, and Lock Haven University, Ursinus, DeSales, Newman University, and Arcadia University too. And here's a ground ball to shortstop, and that is fielded and throwing out Todd Kolbicka. So 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Yeah,
it's exciting to know that there are that many colleges who are checking you out. That puts pressure on the players to perform well, and that's good kind of pressure. Hey, let's see what you got while the pressure's on.
Yeah, you got to look at it as opportunity, right? It's pressure, but it's also opportunity. There's a negative and a positive side to everything.
Luke Myers takes low and in from Gavin Mikulski, and that is ball 1.
It's that nervous energy, but you change it in your mind to that's my excitable energy. That's going to get me going. So it's just a matter of how you frame it in your mind that determines your success level as a player.
And that pitch missing for a ball. And that is actually 13 Matt Benner at shortstop. We can't tell from our angle, but on the camera we could see the back of his jersey. We knew that these guys were going to be rotating around some positions today and just sort of giving a lot of different guys looks. If they play more than one position, they're going to get to play more than one position in this game. 2-0 to Luke Myers with 2 outs and nobody on in the 5th. And the next pitch, and he tried a little slap bunt there on a 2-0, and he pushed it foul. 2-1. If he keeps that fair, he probably turns that into a base hit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he made it. He pulled the bat out just a half second too late. A good idea, but the barrel was pretty much parallel with the first base dugout when he made contact.
Okay, 1-2 count. I had it as 2-1, so I missed one. And a 1-2 to Luke Myers. And he swings and gets a piece of it. That was recognition that that's going to be one that he's got to shoot foul. I don't think he wanted to swing at it, but he got a piece of it to stay alive.
Yeah, he was a bit out in front on his front foot, but to your point, kept the hands back and just made contact to stay alive in the at-bat.
Here's Mikulski into the line, and that high leg kick and the 1-2, and that's popped foul as well. And, you look at mechanics things and what do pitchers like to do. That's what colleges are looking at as well, not just velocity, but a guy that uses his legs. Tom Seaver, who passed away, was so famous for getting the power from his legs. He can get more power as he develops more muscle. 1-2 pitch from Mikulski. That's up and in to Luke Myers in ball 2.
Yeah, to that point, I really like this kid's delivery. His windup is very solid. That high leg kick, if you add a couple pounds of muscle in the college years, definitely some high potential for this left-hander.
Takes that big deep breath before every pitch. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. He got him chasing a high fastball out of the zone. A strikeout for Gavin Mikulski. And he has a 1-2-3 inning. And down goes Baseball U Scranton Guy in the top of the 5th. It is Baseball U Scranton 1, Baseball U Philly nothing. Middle of the 5th inning on BFA.
Not bad.
Duke Stefersky stays on for his third inning of work as we go to the fifth, and whether they had that in mind or not, he had used all of 6 pitches in the fourth inning, so he's good. And Duke Stefersky comes on to face the bottom of the lineup for Philly Lindsay here in the bottom of the fifth inning, with Baseball U Scranton leading 1-0, despite numerous threats for the Baseball U Philly team. J.J. O'Neill lined out into a double play in the second inning, a nice unassisted double play turned by their shortstop for Scranton. So 0 for 1, and a high pop is fouled away by J.J. O'Neill. No balls and 1 strike.
And to your point about a quick 6-pitch inning in the fourth for Stefersky, if you look at his third inning of work, he gave up 3 hits there, but worked out of a couple jams. So he's somebody who pitches to contact and is comfortable with runners on. That's why he gets a 6-pitch inning in the fourth, because he's throwing right to the batter. Here, I'll let you hit it. I got some defense out there. So you'd like to see that in a pitcher.
He didn't let him hit that one, as he bounced it up there. But, yes, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to J.J. O'Neill, and a swing and a foul off.
In a cricket game, that's right down the zone.
There you go. Right.
Straight to the wickets, right? That's how they say.
O'Neill out of Downingtown East. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stefersky low and in, and ball 2. These, we were mentioning it earlier. We can mention it again later, I think. It's going to be a long day with a lot of games, but these showcase events are so huge for these kids. It's a big deal anyway to be on a travel team. Here's a bouncing ball back up the middle, and the second baseman gets there, backhands, and doesn't have a play, and that's a base hit for J.J. O'Neill. I think that's Luke Myers, who's still out there at second base, and didn't have a realistic chance of getting him, so O'Neill has an infield single. But in a season like this, with the coronavirus and everything, the chance to play games is huge, so here, these games would just sort of be in addition to the high school season, but now these games this year, this is it. This is all they have, and the only chance they get to develop and to show their talents as well and to improve on their talents. Low and away to Zielinski, ball 1.
To that point, Bob, in this travel environment where you showcase games, there is that added talent level and that exposure to not just being around your typical guys at your hometown high school or whatever school you go to.
There goes the runner, and that's a good throw, and very close at second, and got him. It might have been on the overslide that they got him. He might have been safe initially, but I think he might have kind of slid past the bag a little on the slippery turf. That can happen, especially when the turf is new like it is here in Dunmore. And a caught stealing of J.J. O'Neill on a good throw by the catcher Luxick.
Yeah, O'Neill's had some tough luck today.
This is Colin Williams who's batting, isn't it? Not, or is it Zielinski? Did we have the right name here?
I believe it's Zielinski. This is Hody Zielinski, correct?
All right, well, we got a graphic here, so we're getting a little turned around. I'd like to see the back of his jersey. Colin Williams, number 15. And there's a strike. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike with 1 out and nobody on. Yeah, he's got 15, so let's assume it's Colin Williams, the left-handed batter. So, yeah, we got a little turned around there, too.
We do have, so we have 2 15s on our roster for Lindsay, both Zielinski and Williams.
We do. Okay, yeah, there you go.
So I think it's, in the graphics.
Are they both lefties, too? They are.
They are, so that'll trip you up. That'll trip you up there.
I mean, that's supposed to be where you get some help.
The lineup card we were handed says Zielinski, so I'll go with that.
Yes, I think, I got a little concerned there, but I think that's correct.
No, you had it right. Trust your guy.
Right. Well, we got 2 15s, so what can you do? All right. So this is Zach Zielinski's, we believe.
Yeah.
And
just spelled incorrectly on the graphics.
Right. So 3 and 2, and 1 out and nobody on. And the pitch from Duke Stefersky and a foul off, and he just got a piece of that to hang in there. And this is 3 straight fouls on a couple strikes. It's a batter who's hanging in there and battling, and those are, little things that announcer guys like to talk about, but that college coaches like to see as well. Full count pitch, good eye. That's outside, and so now we reset to a 2-2 count. That would have been ball 4, but we're not going to do any walks in this baseball showcase event.
Yeah, the ability to battle doesn't show up in a stat sheet.
Here's a high pop that's fouled away. And now the count is at 2-2. Gives it a lot of looks here. As we said before, these teams have played each other before. A lot of these teams are appearing against each other at the very same showcase event, so he's probably seen this pitcher Stefersky before, and now they're seeing each other for a lot of consecutive pitches on this at-bat as well, as that pitch misses outside for ball 3, and we go back to a full count. With 1 out, nobody on in the 5th inning. And there is strike 3 at the knees inside corner. And goes down looking, and a strikeout for Duke Stefersky, which is his first of the game. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Baseball U Scranton leading Baseball U Philly 1-0 in what we think is a 6-inning game. What we were told anyway, but we might have a 7th inning for all we know. I don't know if we could get that in before an hour 50 anyway. Kyle Krupa takes a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Krupa, who bounced into a double play in the 3rd, and he's 0 for 1.
Yeah, I think it is going to go 7.
Is that what we're being told now?
These two teams trying to get all their pitchers in.
Right. And that's hit pretty well to left field. Collins turned around. It's over his head. It goes out to the fence. And Krupa is going to come around second, try for third. Ooh. This will be a close play. Tagged out at third. Collins got that to the cutoff man, the shortstop, and the tag is the third baseman, Kolbicka. So aggressive base running with 2 outs there for Kyle Krupa. Doubles to the corner in left and is thrown out, I believe, 7-6-5. And down goes Philly Lindsay in the 5th inning with 2 hits and 2 guys thrown out on the bases that inning. At the end of 5, it is Baseball U Scranton 1, Baseball U Philly nothing. On to the 6th on BFA.
You're on point. You're like a natural. Pick it up. Not a problem. That was cool. It was a great shot, too, to play at third.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. You know, just the old practice routine. If you're limited in experience, you can't make that up. So
it's true.
Just keep doing your thing. How do you like the Zoom sticks? The easier to use and just like the
regular?
Yeah,
totally.
Really?
I think so.
I gotta invest in some of them. My camera crew.
Especially for baseball. I feel like of all sports, you really need it.
Yeah. How responsive is it? Pretty quick?
Yeah. I'd say so.
Cool.
The only thing is my fingers were numb for the first 30 minutes, but
Magnus
now we're good.
20. Let's see if I gotta check this.
6th inning now, and it's 1-0 for Baseball U Scranton, and we are told that this will be a 7-inning game, and, you know, I said before maybe we can't get to 7 in an hour 50. I take it back. I think we've got a pretty good chance to get there, and these guys want to get their pitchers into the game as well. Pfeiffer lifts it into shallow right field. The second baseman backpedaling is Kyle Krupa, and 1 out on the first pitch swinging here in the top of the 6th. With Gavin Mikulski still on for Philly Lindsay. This is his 3rd inning of work after Justice Augusto had pitched the first 3. Here is J.D. Greeley, 0 for 2 out of Pocono Mountain West. And the pitch is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Evan Holohan. No balls and 1 strike. Greeley, a fly out in the 1st and a strikeout swinging in the 3rd. That was against Augusto both times. This is his first time facing Mikulski. Grounder to second. Krupa has it and throws a little bit down the line, but Rossi over there at first keeps his toe on the bag. Greeley is out, and very quickly on all of 3 pitches, we have 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Jake Milan now. Milan a single to right center in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 2. He also had a stolen base in the 1st inning. And he's 0 for 1 against Mikulski. And a swing and a miss, and a good pitch, and it's 0-1. Here in the 6th, a 1-0 game for Philly Scranton. Scoreboard still has it as 0-0. And that pitch is low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two outs and nobody on. And the 1-1 from Mikulski. And that is a little high, and backing away a little bit is Jake Milan, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch is low for ball 3, and we got a good look at the back of Zach Zielinski, who's the shortstop now. They've been rotating defensive players around different positions all game here on the Philly Lindsay team, so we might have called out a wrong name once or twice in here. That pitch misses for what would have been ball 4, so now we reset it to 2-2, which is an instinct that I haven't quite developed yet. I'm getting, ball 4 is a walk, right? But here it means it's 2-2. And a fly ball to right field, and rotating over and catching for the final out. There's a 1-2-3 inning, and nicely done for Gavin Mikulski with 2 flyouts and a ground out. In the middle of the 6th, it is Baseball U Scranton Guy 1, Baseball U Philly Lindsay nothing on BFA. Here is Wilkes-Barre native Todd Kolbicka from Hanover Area Township High School, taking the mound now for the Baseball U Scranton team with a 1-0 lead. So Kolbicka is on the top of the lineup for Baseball U Philly, beginning with, this should be Matt Benner, right? Yeah, and it is. And looking at a good strike on the outside corner of the knees from Kolbicka. No balls, 1 strike. Benner with a walk and a single to right field in the 3rd. And he takes away from Kolbicka, does Benner, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 hits for Philly Lindsay, no runs. And let's see, 5 guys out on the bases on double plays or caught stealings. And that pitch is in a strike, and it's 1-2.
Mentioned guys out on the bases. Benner, one of them. He was caught stealing back in the 1st inning.
Ground ball to 3rd, backhand pick over there by the former 3rd. That was Kolbicka's previous spot, and picking it and throwing him out for the first out here in the 6th inning.
And on the
throws, that 3rd baseman here.
That's J.D. Greeley.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, whoa, because he backhanded that, and then from the back foot, didn't even take a step, shoots a dart across the diamond for the out. That is next level strength on the arm.
Eric Chandler, 1 for 2. And taking a fastball away from Kolbicka. 1 ball and no strikes. And we were told we're now expecting it to be 7 innings, so we're kind of winging it as we go. Sometimes these things get changed. That pitch missing to Chandler, ball 2. He doubled off the fence in right field in the 3rd. Benner didn't score on that play, which surprised me a little bit at the time. And that was one of several close calls for Philly Lindsay, who are still looking for their first run. Chandler takes.
Yeah, flew out to right field in the first at bat, doubled off the fence in the 2nd, so he's got that opposite field approach here today.
There's a change-up and got him way out in front. What do we have now? 2-2, I think. On a bright and early Saturday morning in Dunmore, yeah. Here's Kolbicka to Chandler, and a fly ball. That's hit well to right, just like his last one, right? And that is over the head of the outfielder, and it's going to short hop the fence, and Chandler is going to make it in on a head-first slide to second. Yeah, head-first slide here on the turf. I like it. And Chandler's in with a double.
What a day for him. 2 for 3 with 2 doubles, even the flyout. An impressive job here today of keeping the hands inside, using the opposite field, showing off that he's a complete hitter, can go both ways here this morning.
Here is Jake Whitlinger, who had an infield single and a stolen base, and is 1 for 2 today. And this is not Whitlinger, is it?
Listed as number 61 on the roster.
Yeah.
This is number 6.
Let's just stay with it. Let's go with it, right?
It's Whitlinger.
Yeah, I think it is now, too. And taking a ball away. One out runner at first is Chandler, and here's a fly ball to the right field corner. That one is trouble, and that one is all the way out to the fence. Here comes Chandler around to score. And in the bottom of the 6th, on a 1-out double to the right field corner by Jake Whitlinger, we are tied at 1-1. Back-to-back doubles for Baseball U Philly Lindsay.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there to shoot one down the right field line. And Benner had trouble a couple innings ago coming home to score on a Chandler double. No problem there for Whitlinger to score. Chandler.
Evan Holland with a runner go. I'm going to throw down a third from his knees, but Luxick can't get him. Whitlinger is in, had a good jump there. And a stolen base. Yeah.
Have yourself a day, as now he's 2 for 3, had a single back in the first. The double obviously scored the run, and now he's got a stolen base to his name. That'll impress some scouts here today.
Here's a shot down the left field line. Oh, barely foul and very close. And that would have been, I think, a third straight double if it had stayed in. And I think this is Rocco Valvano who's taken over at catcher. I beg your pardon, Hollihan, I'm turned around here. Okay, we got it. Evan Hollihan batting, and a ball and a strike. And that one is in tight on him as well, almost behind him. And ball 2.
Well, to your point, it is Valvano behind the plate.
It is, okay. I
got 31 catching with 31 at that.
I know.
That is the...
Okay, I said Luxick before because he was the starting catcher, but we had a change there at that position as well. And that's on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 2-2 to Evan Hollihan. One to 1 in the 6th. And here's a high pop off the hands, I think. And Ryan Collins, a long run in, and the shortstop over his shoulder couldn't catch it. And that ball falls in, turns into a double for Hollihan. Whitlinger scores, and Philly Lindsay takes a 2-1 lead.
Now, was that a double? I couldn't see. Was there
well, I mean, it's that was over his shoulder. That's a tough catch.
Yeah.
So, for lack of an official score telling us one way or the other, we can go ahead and call that a double looped into shallow left. That's such a long run in for the outfielder and such a tough play for the shortstop over his shoulder with a fairly long run back.
Well, factor in the sun coming in at a weird angle as well from right behind home plate. Well, more of the first base side, but that's right in the eyes.
This is Tony Rossi, who has a couple of ground outs today. And it's a 2-1 lead now for Philly Lindsay. And Kolbicka throws low and away to Rossi. That's a nice pick off the turf there for Rocco Valvano.
We've had a lot of hits from both teams today, but we have yet to come to the 6-batter limit.
That's true. Well, we have these pitchers that keep getting out of their respective jams. That's 10 hits now for Philly Lindsay by our count anyway. I think Rossi took a ball there, so 2-0. With Hollihan, who quickly, identify the opportunity to get that runner at second base, and he did. So it's an F7 and out, 7-5-4 at second, but Holian scores what is their third run of the game. And so I guess that's a sac fly RBI on a double play for Agris. I couldn't even tell you if that's officially an RBI, but we'll go with that too. And 3 runs for Lindsay in the 6th inning. And, yeah, we will play a 7th after all. So we go to the 7th. It is Baseball U, Philly Lindsay 3, Baseball U, Scranton Guy 1 on BFA. All right, 7th inning, and J.J. O'Neill is going to come on and pitch here. And now a 3-1 game, and boy, we had a little bit of everything here, and it's only game 1 out of 10 this weekend, everyone. And Zach Luxick takes a ball. He doubled into the left field corner in the 4th and scored their only run and gave Baseball U Scranton a 1-0 lead at the time. 1 ball and no strikes to Luxick, 1 for 2. And in the 7th, we were initially told in the rules that we play 6-inning games, but now looks like we're playing 7 innings or an hour 50, and we're coming close to that. There's a foul back, 1-1. It's better to play 7. It feels more natural anyway.
100%. Now, obviously, with Team Lindsay taking a 3-run lead in the bottom half of the 6th, you know, keep in mind this is a showcase, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see both halves of the frame played here in the 7th.
Right. They might bat in the bottom of the 7th, depending on how long it takes, though, too. That was a swing and a miss for Luxick, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Dallas area high product, and that pitch sailed way out of the hand of J.J. O'Neill. Lost his grip there a little bit, maybe. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luxick. And then Zach Kovalchuk and Scott Gilbert are due up this inning for the Scranton Guy squad here. Yeah, there's ball 3.
Every time you say Kovalchuk's name, I think you're announcing for the Phantom.
Right.
You know, it makes sense given how cold it is.
Ilya Kovalchuk is the hockey player. He spells it with a U at the end, and this baseball player spells it with an I. But yes, they're a Russian hockey player named Kovalchuk. And there is a ball, I think. So now we reset to 2-2, right? Yeah. And that pitch is high, so now we go back, I think, to 2-2 or 3-2.
It's always tough. Scoreboard's not showing balls and strikes.
Oh, it has the wrong score, too. It's hard to keep up with the runs. Here's a high pop-up, third base side. R.J. Agris, I think, was at third before and might still be, but that's way beyond the fence and out of play.
Nice little souvenir down the line, but it's going to have to come back.
Well, you got to retrieve those balls here.
I think each team only has 12, so.
Right, the team's got to go get the baseballs here. And, I was going to say they appreciate the support from the fans in doing that. And we do have some of the families who are coming out here bright and early. And foul away by Luxick.
Now, I don't know if we've got a shot down the third base line. Typically, there's one coach out there, but a sea of coaches down the third base line here in the top of the seventh.
That's the congregating spot. There are 5 guys over there.
Got a lot of instruction.
And heads up for any liners. I mean, seriously. Fouled away by Luxick. That's 4 foul balls in this at-bat. I like the guys who can work a count. It can take a little while, but I like the guys who go up there and battle.
Yeah.
And they flip it foul if they don't think they can put it into play, and they have that pitch identification to just do what they can with the tough ones and wait for a good one. And that pitch is high, ball 4, and this is working like 2 walks in one at-bat is basically what it is, because you go ball 4, and then you reset to 2-2, and then if you walk again, now you actually do take your base.
There is such a value to being a guy who can foul off pitches, frustrate the other team's hurler, not only make him throw a lot, get his count up, but you make him reveal tendencies.
There's a ball to Kovalchuk, and then a throw down from the knees by the catcher Hallahan, and Luxick is back in standing. It's a nice talent for a catcher to have, to be able to fling it down there from his knees, from the crouch like that. There's Hallahan looking to frame it in there, and a strike, and 1-1 to Kovalchuk, who is 0 for 2 today. Reached on what we determined was an error back in the 4th inning, and a strikeout back in the 2nd, and a foul away.
Mentioning throwing as a catcher from your knees to the bases, and I know at the jump you were telling me you grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. I can't help but mention the name Johnny Bench, who I grew up as a catcher idolizing, and that he really was the inventor almost of that style.
There's a foul away by Kovalchuk, and it stays 1-2. Benito Santiago got even lower when he played for San Diego, and didn't have to budge, and he just had all that arm strength that could gun it down. But yeah, Johnny Bench was incredible.
Not a bad hitter either, Johnny.
Yeah,
Bench.
right. Yeah. 1-2. There goes the runner, and that is way high and away, and not a realistic chance to try to throw down there. So Luxick steals, and it's 2-2 is at Kovalchuk. 3-1, Philly Lindsay leads Scranton Guy. And that pitch missing, and now the count is full, 3-2. 1 run in the 4th for Scranton, 3 runs in the 6th for Baseball U Philly, one of a couple of Baseball U Philly teams here this weekend. And a high pop-up to left field. And if that is Matt Benner out there, then that's him making the catch for the first out of the top of the 7th inning. Now, we're almost getting to an hour 50, so I'm going to assume that we probably will not play the bottom of the 7th. If we had extra time remaining, then we might continue even with the home team winning. But we've got a schedule to keep, and we're trying to get in all of these games before 6:30 or so. So a long day. This is game 1 out of 5. I've never called a quintuple header before. This is a first for me.
I've never even heard that phrase before.
Right, exactly. So. Scott Gilbert taking a ball 1-0. I mean, you got a time limit on games, so technically they're kind of mini games, but still, it's a lot. 1-0 to Scott Gilbert, and a single to left in the 4th. He's 1 for 2, and he pitched a little today too, and a bouncing ball, and there's his second hit of the game, and he pulled that. I beg your pardon, that was fielded over there. My vision was screened, so the first baseman got it and takes it to the bag. I thought that was going down the line. So Gilbert is gone.
I don't think it was just your vision. R.J. Agris did a great job of making the play, but lulling, taking his time to get to the bag, and then at the tail end there, speeding up and almost making a throw to third, just trying to catch the runner sleeping.
So that's Agris over there at first now. You said R.J. Agris.
I believe
okay.
I picked
they flip-flop positions. Right. Ryan Collins is batting, and this might be it for the ball game, we assume. And there's ball 1, and now J.J. O'Neill, and a check swing strike on the outside corner. 1-1. You know, they do that in Major League preseason games as well. Home team might bat in the bottom of the ninth if they get there, but here you've got 3,000, 5,000 Major League Baseball fans who are not used to that.
Right.
And then they see, well, what's going on? And they get very confused if they're down in Clearwater or Port St. Lucie or wherever they're watching. But that's very common, especially in early preseason games. Collins fouls it away, and it's 1-2. Or you'll have a game that ends in a tie in the ninth or the 10th if both teams have used the pitchers that they want to use. You're not going to play 15 innings in a Major League preseason game.
Right.
Nobody cares who wins. Collins takes outside, ball 2.
There's always that one person in the fans who cares. There's always that one.
The fans are, they're a little more into it. But here you've got a lot of people who are used to it because they've come to baseball showcase events. The kids are used to it. All the coaches, umpires, everyone's on the same page. There's Ryan Collins taking ball 3. Everyone except for maybe the announcer. That's a different topic. Here's a fly ball into center field, and J.J. O'Neill comes on and catches. And so after the leadoff walk, a 1-2-3 inning for J.J. O'Neill. And are we going to play the bottom of the 7th? It looks like we are. I think. Yeah, they're taking to the field again, and they're doing it quickly. And I think, the hour 50 time frame, we're going to stretch it to 2 hours because we're at an hour 50. So it's already 3-1, and Philly Lindsay gets to bat in the bottom of the 7th, and it looks like we're going to continue playing on BFA. Okay, we will have a bottom of the 7th inning, even though Philly Lindsay already leads 3-1. The home team will bat in the bottom of the 7th, and Mike Schow will come on for Scranton. We think it's Schow. There was a Major League pitcher named Eric Schau of the same spelling, so it could be either way, and we're kind of guessing here. And J.J. O'Neill is batting, and Schow delivers ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. This is so that all the pitchers can get in and all the different batters can get their reps. It's a showcase event, and the idea is for the guys to get to show their talents. O'Neill takes ball 2. He is 1 for 2 today. Two balls, no strikes is up and in, and 3-0 to the righty batting J.J. O'Neill. John O'Neill, but it says he goes by JJ out of Downingtown East. And a high pop, left field corner. Does he have room over there? They're saying he has room. Does he catch that? I don't think so. So a foul ball for J.J. O'Neill. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, O'Neill has had some interesting luck today as a hitter. In his first at bat, hit a hard line drive to short, which ended up resulting in a double play, unfortunately. And then he reached on a single but was caught stealing on, I believe, a steal where he was safe but came off the bag late. So just a tough day for him in terms of that liner in the first inning and then the stolen base where he came off the bag.
That was a ball, so I think we reset to 2-2. That slippery turf, that's a thing now. There's strike 3 swinging. on a fastball, and so Mike Shaw has a strikeout, 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th. That's what a lot of players have noticed on this new type of turf surface, and this is a newer turf that was installed last year. They put a couple $1 million to refurbish this facility where they've had baseball and sports and fans coming to cheer for different teams forever, since 1950. As Zielinski takes a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. But that's what even pro players, and they have this type of turf in the minor leagues as well, and they say, man, it's crazy because it's not dirt that grips you. You just keep on sliding. Here's a high pop-up to left field, and Ryan Collins, well, that might not be Collins out there. He was the starting left fielder, but whoever is out there is catching, and there's 2 gone. But that's the thing about the turf. It's brown, where there's supposed to be dirt, but it's not actual dirt. You'll slide. And you'll go 15 feet. It's like a slip and slide, and that's where he came off the bag, and that's where guys have to get used to it. Kyle Krupa doubled the left field corner in the 5th, is 1 for 2.
That's why I enjoy when I'm playing in an adult men's league when the bases aren't hammered in and they just slide. You
Right.
don't have to worry about sliding off the base.
High pop up first base side and no play.
For me, the approach is slide into that bag as hard as I can and get it to move with me, and it's a dead play.
We had Chandler, I think it was, who had the head first slide on his double last inning. He's not doing that head first slide on dirt, but that's a good strategy on the turf to be able to grab it while you're flying in there. And I'm telling you, the pros in the minor league level, I worked in the New York Penn League last summer with Williamsport, they're talking about it because I think there were 3 stadiums we went to that had this type of turf surface. There's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. And Mike Shaw, with a couple of strikeouts, got him in on the hands there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Shaw. And that's our ball game, everyone. And a good performance. Mike Shaw wanted his reps, and he deserved it. He got a couple of strikeouts there, so that extra half inning was good for him. 3 runs in the 6th for Philly Lindsay. And they scored 3 runs on 10 hits and defeats Scranton, who had 1 run on their 6 hits. So 3-1, Baseball U Philly Lindsay defeats Baseball U Scranton Guy. And then we take a little break, and then I have to see here, coming up at 10:10, Baseball U Philly Torresani against Baseball U New Jersey. So roughly a 10:10 start time is our anticipation for Game 2 of our quintuple header of our Baseball U Showcase event. Along with Chris Markowitz, my name Bob Rotruck. Talk to you in a few minutes on BFA.